if it's criticism, I'll take it. I'll look to see if there's any truth in it, and if there's not, if it's just like blatant criticism for its own sake, I just ignore it. Hey, babes!
I'm Madeline.
And I'm Deja.
I'm Sam Blake.
I'm Hayden McSpadden.
And welcome back to the Elegance Exchange. So, as you may have noticed, we have some special guests. We did not think this would happen, but here we are. So, today we're going to be asking some questions, just like getting a different perspective on things, because obviously you hear our perspective all the time. Anything
Special is apt. You got some real special guests today. Ain't that right, Sam? Give me some.
Very special.
As you can see, this is going to be a very interesting episode.
It's going to be very different from our usual episodes. But...
So, buckle up and enjoy the ride. We sure will. Okay, so what do you think is the most misunderstood thing about men by women?
So most misunderstood. I think, well, I don't. We've seen in recent years like a pretty dramatic change in what masculinity is, really. Because I mean, some of the things, obviously, you know, trustworthy, caring, courageous, all of that stuff has stayed the same. But we've seen like a broadening of the definition of what can be considered masculine. I mean, like I'm in a pink suit here, right? 50 years ago, I would have been called a lot of things for wearing a pink suit and having such a fabulous mustache.
But this is
you wish you had a mustache.
I wish
you
I
wish
had
you
a
had a
mustache.
Okay, but again, so like it's really hard to say what specifically I think women should know about men. Just know that like it's like you can't really make blanket statements.
Yeah,
that's the problem. You can't, because every time you make a blanket statement, you stereotype, and every time you stereotype, you tick somebody off. I would just say know that this is how most people work. So this is just broad, generalized advice. When you're communicating with somebody, you have to understand that what the other person's saying makes sense to them. It may not make sense to you. It may be wildly out of line to you, but it makes sense to them. So you just have to steelman it and put yourself in their shoes and really try to empathize. You got to properly empathize to know what they're saying makes sense to them. You just have to try to understand that and then just kind of work backwards if you're trying to like convince somebody of something.
You know, everybody's different. You know, you can't really make blanket statements. I wish that all men had the same, morals, at least.
Yeah.
But they don't. You know, there are bad people out there. There are bad men out there. I wish that wasn't the case and that I could make a blanket statement, but you really can't.
I guess another one is the parts don't make the whole. You got to understand that you can't just, again, categorize all men in a category, all women in a category. You can't do that. You got to understand that. There are some rotten apples in every single group on the planet. You just can't look at the bad pieces. It's the squeaky wheel. You can't look at the squeaky wheels. You got to look at like just the general average person.
Okay, do you think that men and women view commitment differently?
Individuals view commitment differently.
Individuals, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think men and women, because I mean, it all comes from where your core ethos is, like what your core guiding principle is. That's how you view commitment. Because I know, like me and my faith, I view commitment one way. Somebody else might view it differently.
Yeah.
And I am very, I like definitions of things,
You would.
Yeah, I know. I like the way that things are meant to be, and so for me, commitment is what commitment is.
Yeah.
But I also know that other people view things that they should be committed to differently.
Yeah.
So, whereas I think, for a relationship, for example, I think that relationships should be committed. You should be committed to whoever you're in a relationship with. But other people feel differently. They're more loose and open, and I don't know.
Yeah, and then they still consider that like commitment because
Yeah.
you've been with someone for a while. How do you define success?
Being able to sleep easy at night. Yeah. Just knowing that you have done everything as you feel you should be doing things. Because, I mean, if you're staying up worrying about something, you probably haven't hit success. Just being able to look yourself in the mirror and be proud of what you see, I think. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think it's like a monetary thing. I don't think it's like a status thing. I would say it's definitely just like a how you view yourself thing.
I think that's very interesting because I feel like with success, people immediately think of like money and like fame.
But if at the end of the day you're happy,
That's success, yeah. I mean, I think like the pinnacle of success would be stable living, obviously. So like you do need some money. Mm-hmm. But I mean, I think they did studies to show that like, money doesn't increase happiness. It does. It just drops off at a certain point. Like once you have enough money to where you have a house, you have a paid for car, you're not going to bed hungry. That's when money stops increasing happiness.
Yeah.
So like you need enough success to get to that point, but like the pinnacle of success I think would be like a happy, loving family, a job you don't hate, kids you're proud of. Yeah, something like that. I think that's probably success. That's what I want.
That's
Yeah.
yeah. I don't
In
know.
addition to a ton of cars and stuff.
Other people out there would define success as what Hayden just said, a bunch of cars
And stuff.
And I couldn't argue with him. That's success to them.
Yeah, that sounds pretty
Do
good
you?
to me.
Yeah.
I want a bunch of cars and stuff.
I do too.
It would be nice to have
would
a
be
lot
nice,
of
a bunch of cars
awesome
and stuff,
cars.
yeah.
I've got one already.
What do you define as like a good friend, and how has it changed as you've gotten older?
Bad idiot. Yeah. I think, somebody that is willing to call you out when you're being an idiot, but is also willing to support your idiotic decisions because they're willing to be supportive enough to let you do stupid things, but also to call you out when you're doing something stupid.
Yeah.
I think somebody that's trash can. Somebody that's willing to like respect your decisions, but also not be afraid to call you out on them when they're dumb.
Mm-hmm. I think everyone needs that. I feel like
Right.
people
Yeah.
these days are so like peer pressured into doing things with their friends, and then they end up doing stupid stuff.
Yeah.
And then like you talk to someone, they're like, "Oh yeah, that's my best friend," but like I'm just gonna let him do whatever because he wants
Yeah.
to do it.
No, that's like not giving the full truth.
Yeah.
It's just sugarcoating what they want to hear.
Like when Sam's gonna do something stupid, I'm more than willing to tell him what you're doing is stupid. When I'm gonna do something stupid, he's more than willing to tell me what I'm gonna do is stupid.
How do you balance ambition with your personal life?
Poorly.
Yeah. I've got a new job I'm about to start that'll start taking up a lot more of my free time, but as it stands now, it's mostly just personal life and very little ambition. Because like the job I have now doesn't give me any hours and they don't work me at all. But that's about to change.
Mm-hmm.
So I couldn't tell you. But I mean, just try to. I want a job where when it hits 5 o'clock, I'm done. I don't think about work. This is how it was when I actually worked a lot. When I was off the clock, I'm off the clock. I'm focusing on everything other than work.
What would you say?
Like I said, I do it poorly. Kind of like Hayden, I've just been having a lot of free time.
Yeah.
So, but now I have a half of a semester psychology class after one semester and a half of having nothing to do with my time. So now psychology's about to kick me in the butt while I try to figure out how to do it. But everything always works out for me.
Okay, so this one's, I don't know, I think this one's interesting. Do you feel pressure to achieve a certain level of success by a particular stage in your life?
Sometimes, but it's not like from somebody else. It's always myself. Because I always feel like, we did stuff in high school, right? We were known in high school. We were constantly doing the announcements and whatnot. And so now we don't do any of that. And I'm like, oh, we got to get back to doing it. We got to get back to doing it. But just, we haven't put the effort into doing it yet.
Do you think there's like a certain deadline when you have to
No.
like before you do
Well,
that?
by the time I'm 30, I hope I've done something. But as of now,
fair.
being 19, I think I'm good. I'm in college. I'm working. There's like not much more. At our age, we really need to be worried about.
I agree for where I am right now.
Yeah.
However, I definitely do think that I have a deadline. If we're going off of our definition of success, happy family and everything.
Yeah.
Whereas most people that I know, their parents got started at about a good time. Mine got started a little later. So I fear that, my version of success, I might not even reach that before my parents, check out.
Yeah. I have that fear too. Like my grandfather, he's probably the most important person in my life. He's in his 70s. I think he turned 76, 77 recently. And so like I'm hoping I can, have a family before he passes. I want them to meet him. Because I know like my parents, my mom had me, my parents had me when they were 20.
Wow.
I was unplanned. Yeah. I came as a surprise to everybody, including me. But like, so like, I kind of grew up with my parents almost in a way. Because like, it was, again, my mom's only 20 years older than I am. 20 years dead even, basically. But her parents, so my grandfather, when they were 40, is when they had her.
Wow.
Yeah. So
I
like,
can
I'm
understand
trying to, I'd like to have a family before he passes. I guess I do have a little bit of a deadline. But that's not, it's not imposed from anybody else. It's like self-imposed.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I get that because my mom had me when she was 39, and so like, I guess I understand that sense of like you have to have I don't know, you kind of have like your own timeline that you want to reach.
Yeah.
It's like the same thing with getting married too. Like you want your parents to be able to like walk you down the aisle and
Mm-hmm.
everything and be there for you.
I guess I do feel pressured about it, but yeah, like Hayden said, only by myself.
Yeah, it's only an internal pressure. It's not like I have my parents standing over me like, oh, you gotta do this, you gotta do that.
Yeah.
I think I've had very good parents. I have had very good parents that aren't like, yeah, you gotta do this, that, and the other. And that's how I want to raise my kids is I want to instill in them their own drive internally, not externally.
No, and you're right. I think like we're at a point like in our lives where we're just like 19, like we're just we
Exactly.
just graduated
Like,
a year ago.
I am a chronic overthinker, a chronic worrier. So I'm always like, oh, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. Like, I need to do this drive. And then my dad's like, hey, dude, you're like 19. I'm like, yeah, you're right. I forget, my bad.
Yeah.
And so like, I just have to remind myself to just like take it easy. Not focus on anything too crazy. Not try to beat myself up because I'm not at this certain point. Just kind of, we're here for the ride, right? Here for a good time, not a long time.
Yep.
If anything, I don't know if it's just me, but are you guys like scared of growing up? Like, are you scared of getting older?
No, not. I mean, sometimes, yeah. I'm scared of letting people down and like responsibility. Like I'm not going to measure up sometimes, but I also know that like it'll all work out in the end.
Mm-hmm.
But that's also just like my faith. That's
Yeah.
where I derive all of my. I'm not afraid of anything, and that's because of my faith.
Mm-hmm.
I don't fear growing up, but sometimes I feel like I wasn't meant to.
You were, sir. You certainly were.
I definitely wasn't. No, I feel like I was meant for a permanent state of 17.
Hey, there was
Yeah,
a movie.
that's okay.
Wasn't that a movie?
Was it?
17 again.
17 again.
I gotta be 17
Well,
again.
there's also what, like Forever 17? Isn't that like a cosmetics line or something?
Thought it
Forever
was
21?
Forever 21.
We're not there yet.
It's a
Still-
clothing
We're not there
brand.
yet.
That's-
No,
No.
I wouldn't want to be 21 forever. It's
No.
miserable.
I
No.
think once we turn 19, we kind of like hit the fact that, oh shoot, we're going to be actual. I mean, we're already adults, but we're going to be like out of
Yeah.
our teenage years.
Yeah, no.
19 is a nothing number. I gotta complain about 19. Whoever came up with 19, really?
It's like 17 too, like 17, 19, like
Yeah.
it's like
19's a
Wow.
nothing
Yeah.
number. What can I do now that I couldn't do a year ago? Absolutely nothing.
19 changes nothing.
And yeah, 20 also changes nothing, but 20, that's 2 decades.
You're-
I feel like
That's at
every
least, yeah.
every other year
Like
that
you're
we've
starting your
reached
20s
has
now.
done something for us.
19, nothing.
Nothing for 19. Yeah,
Yeah.
like you said, once you hit 20, at least that's a new decade.
decades,
You
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
that's a big milestone. And then once you hit 21, you can drink.
Yeah.
And then 18, you're an
Vote.
adult.
You can
You're an
vote.
adult. You can vote. And when
You
you
can go
hit
to criminal
16,
court.
I guess 17's kind of nothing, but I don't know. 17's enjoyable also. What
Yeah.
am I doing with
17's
19?
chill.
I just feel like life is moving fast right now. Like I was talking to Madeline, we were talking, we were like, we're gonna be 21 next year. Like we're gonna be turning 21. Like and then it's like just a thought, like you're not gonna be
You're gonna be turning 21 next year.
And like, we're talking like actual
Like
years.
year, yeah.
Not like in 2026, we're going to be 21.
Yeah, no.
No, I'm gonna be 20.
So you guys were born
yeah,
in
because you
2005.
yeah,
I
y'all
just
are-
turned. I just turned March. I just
We have
turned,
early
a week
birthdays.
ago. I just turned 19.
yeah.
A week ago as of filming. Oh, we doxed the filming date. So yeah, it is March 21st. So when this comes out on June 15th, you'll know we've been sitting on this for a little while.
How do you guys respond to criticism in the context of achieving success?
I just don't worry. I don't want to say like I completely ignore what other people think about me, but if it's criticism, I'll take it. I'll look to see if there's any truth in it, and if there's not, if it's just like blatant criticism for its own sake, I just ignore it. Like it's hard to, but you just try not to give it any credence.
Yeah,
And again, 19. What am I supposed to be achieving right now?
that's fair. You
Yeah.
know, I think social media has such a big impact on that because you see like
Yeah.
the 21-year-olds and they're like, I have a dream of
Hmm.
I'm living in this penthouse in New York now, and it's like, okay,
Yeah.
like we're just
Loser.
college students.
You have a penthouse in New York? Really? I have a bedroom with Daredevil posters on its walls. Who's winning there? I got a little Godzilla statue. It's about yay big. And you have a penthouse in New York? Really? I'd rather have a Godzilla statue.
I've got a Dr. Doom statue.
Yeah, a big one.
It's life
It's a
size.
really big
Yeah.
Dr. Doom statue. I think we're winning compared to those
Yeah.
guys.
Oh, yeah.
Also, every time you see them, it's like a dude who's really skinny, and he's got that stupid
I
hair.
hate that hair.
That stupid
So
broccoli
like
hair.
the baseball hair, like the ice
Like
cream
the
cone hair.
fluffed up.
Like the fluffed up broccoli permed
Yeah.
hair.
Don't like that hair.
Look, again, I'm talking about how masculinity has changed and everything, right? That's just loser behavior. All right, what's the next question?
Yeah.
Well, I think it's always the people that try to define your success and always try to tear you down. It's the same people that sit there and like don't do anything with their lives.
Yeah.
So I always think that's like an interesting perspective.
Definitely. Now, I'm not saying that I have good hair. You know, it never does what I want it to. But I hate broccoli hair.
Yeah.
That ties into what you were saying.
Yep.
No, yeah, that broccoli hair.
That's the takeaway from this episode. 19 is stupid, and so is broccoli hair.
What's something that changed your perspective on life?
Dude,
I think this one's gonna be really good.
Starting the announcements, honestly.
I feel like that did open.
Yeah,
Yes.
I know, like, oh, they're talking about the announcements again.
Typical.
Look, we did it for 2 years. You talk about your sports days still, don't you? In high school, we did something called the morning announcements, where every single day we were on camera informing the school on stuff. And once every, like, 3 months or so, we would do basically a short film. So that's what our background is, I guess.
And you guys were practically known for the
We were known,
morning
yeah.
announcements.
Yeah. So that's why they brought us here, so that we can. Yeah, they brought us here as a ploy to get more viewers.
Oh,
Oh, 100%.
We're dragging our audience. That, and then right about the same time, I started doing work with Teen Court. The Bay County Teen Court. I gotta give the spiel. It's a diversion program for first-time minor offenders. Basically, you commit a misdemeanor, and you go to us. You deal with Teen Court instead of going to juvenile court. Once you go through with the program, which is there's like not a mock trial, but a sentencing hearing where you're prosecuted and defended by fellow teens, and you're judged by fellow teens who sit on a jury. Once you go through with the program, your record's completely expunged, so it's as if the crime never happened. So it gives teens the ability to help teens that committed crimes, and it gives them a fresh start. It's as if that crime never happened. So you're able to make mistakes, learn from them, but not face the consequences of a criminal record. That really changed my outlook on life. Because starting the announcements and starting Teen Court, at the same time I was put in positions where people would be looking up to me. So I knew that I had to better myself. I had to, I just had to do better as a person, as a man, because I knew people would be looking up to me. So I wanted to be a good role model for as many people as I could. And so that really started, I really started to think about who I was, what I did. I really started to pay a lot of attention to that. And
well, we hope that you found this informative or comedic. But yeah, we are on a bunch of different social medias, and you can also follow them.
we are on social medias. Yeah, we should probably, we're going to shamelessly plug
Go for it.
Go
at
for
the
it.
McBlaken Brothers on Instagram.
I know. As for us, we are on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Spotify, all at the Elegance Exchange. Nice and
And
easy for
YouTube.
you guys. And YouTube.
So yeah, all right, we love you, babes. Bye.
Bye.
Hi,
Bye.
babes. Why do girls like pink?
I'm gonna say the words that you did. I'm gonna call that a blanket statement, actually, because I don't feel like I don't like pink.
What?
Yeah, I don't think pink's my favorite either.
We've been lied to.
Well, I think any girl, like whenever you
Do you
grow
like
up,
blue?
I like blue.
I like blue too.
Why do you like pink?
Yeah, you're wearing pink, so why do you like pink?
Because girls like pink. At least that's what I thought.
I
It's
don't know.
not
I think
pink.
growing up, like, pink's kind of shoved in your face, and so as you age, you kind
Yeah,
of don't
like
like
you-
it because it's so
Like,
on
you know-
brand or stereotyped, I guess.
You know how many pink dresses I've had when I was little? Like, I always wore pink. Like, I just cannot.
Girls like pink.
No,
Girls like
but
pink.
we don't, though. I just feel
It's
like
just like you just get shoved pink, and so
it's like the gender reveal. Like, there's always the blue for the boys, and then there's always the pink for the
Right.
girls. Like, you're just,
Well, and I don't think I have an
This
issue
is
with
shocking.
pink. I just
Yeah,
don't think it's
I
my
don't know, I
favorite.
thought boys are blue and girls are pink.
Is pineapple on pizza
Oh god.
a capital offense?
Well, I'm allergic to pineapple, so I
It would be for you.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
would be the death penalty.
Yeah.
I have never tried pineapple on pizza. I don't think I ever
don't think it
will.
would be good.
That's just something I cannot accept. Like I.
3v1 here, Sam.
Ew,
What
do
do
you
you
like it?
Sam.
All right, I'm coming out of the closet. I'm a pineapple on pizza enjoyer.
You kind of look.
And I'm
like,
tired of saying that I'm not. I have.
you look like you like
You be
pineapple.
quiet. You be quiet.
You would. You would.
I thought we
Like,
went from like
Everybody
Yeah,
hates
like
it, but you know what? The most of you haven't tried it. The only reason that you guys hate it is because everybody else says that they hate it.
And if you tried it, you would like it because it adds the sweet to the salty, and people like sweet and salty, okay? It's good. Hawaiian pizza is good. I like Hawaii. They did good.
You know, some people put like M&Ms on their pizza. Like
That's
they think
disgusting.
that's
That is
good.
wrong.
There's something wrong here.
I know, I agree, but
I think the best pizza is pepperoni with a hot honey drizzle. That's really good because you get that sweet and you get that salt.
I'm not saying that pineapple on pizza is the best pizza.
It's
I'm not
not.
saying Hawaiian is
Hey,
the best
okay,
pizza.
I'm
saying it's acceptable.
Let me tell you
okay?
my favorite pizza.
Okay.
I'm more of a cheese person.
No pepperoni.
No.
Nothing.
No.
Bacon?
Just cheese?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Pineapple.
no pineapple.
No
No
pineapple.
pineapple.
Is that 6 versus 1 now? Wow, you're in the minority here, Sam.
I know there are other pineapple enjoyers out there, and they have a refined taste that none of you will ever understand.
I don't want to ever understand that. I don't.
Pass. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
no.
on you.
That's
pal.
like
I'm okay
it's
with
like
not
saying,
living-
"Oh, I love blood sausage."
The reason
There are
she
other
doesn't
people
like
who love
it
blood
is
sausage.
because she'd die if she ate it. You've never tried it. You're just a hater.
I don't think I'd die, but
I think you'd be.
You probably-
I'd be suffering. I don't think I'd be dead, but
Do girls prefer clowns or bouncy houses? Asking for.
Bouncy houses.
yeah, probably.
What is love?
Baby, don't hurt me.
Oh Lord.
Don't hurt me.
Ooh, this is
No.
gonna be a long
Are
one.
we being like serious with
What
this?
Like,
question?
actually-
love? Oh, we're done now?
Yeah, we're done.
Okay, yeah.
We were gonna have 10 questions, but we didn't figure you guys would let us get this far.
Oh.
So
We're
Really?
surprised. Yeah, we're surprised we got past the second question there.
yeah.
Girls like pink.
Girls like pink. Why do girls like pink? Dang.